Not on here. Mhm.
I think it's not streaming on Saturday. It's area instruments.
Put it on. Sheesh. All right, let's clap it up. Shalom, Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, since 1969, under Commander General Yohana. And I'm Precinct Officer Nayat, and holding it down for Precinct Officer Yaragabar. And this is a Tuesday night Brotherhood class. Tonight, we're going to go over the spirit, because, we got, a bunch of spirits, a bunch of different spirits. You got an upright spirit, you got a righteous spirit, right? You know what I'm saying? But today, in these times, in the last days, we got a lot of evil spirits. And, people get upset when you tell them, oh, hey, that's an evil spirit right there. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you capture it on video, because everything's been, recorded nowadays, right? You know what I'm saying? So, they will get offended because of that, but when you trying to point something out and trying to correct that person or these individuals, what have you, you know what I'm saying? Especially with these scriptures, but they avoid, reading these scriptures. Why? Because it's that spirit. It's that evil spirit. You know what I'm saying? You could be, when you say something about, you wicked, it doesn't have to be, you going out there unaliving people, you out there, so like robbing people. You know what I'm saying? The Most High will call you wicked if you eating shrimp, if you eating crab, if you eating lobster, alligator, crocodile, whatever, possums, squirrel. You know what I'm saying? What else? The main thing black folks like, and Issachar, the so-called Latinos, all the Latinos out there, that puerco, pork. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? They love that pork. You know what I'm saying? It's so salty. Maybe because the pig does not perspire. You know what I'm saying? In order for it to try to cleanse itself, pus comes out of the hoof. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. I used to eat pig's feet, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, I come from a family that was destroyed for a lack of knowledge, just like Hosea 4:6 said. You know what I'm saying? We are all destroyed from a lack of knowledge, because we learn from the oppressor. You learn that you're a Christian from the oppressor. You learn that you're a Catholic from the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we learned that when we came over here into slavery. They captured us, and they beat our names, our culture, our heritage out of us. Like what was that? The Roots. His name was Kunta. He said, your name's Toby, boy. Yeah, Toby. Tobit, you know, and that's what Hollywood does. You know what I'm saying? They, you know, they give you subliminal messages, you know, because it's in Jeremiah 17. I think it is, you shall discontinue from your heritage. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what we did. And, you know, and we can't give, you know, all the, you know, the credit to the devil, the white man, you know what I'm saying? The devil that the Bible speak of, you know what I'm saying? The greatest deceiver that ever walked the planet of the earth, planet Earth. But the Most High gave him that authority to torture us, man, because we didn't want to follow the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't for the Most High, the white man couldn't do shit. You know, bottom line, the Most High directs all traffic. Bottom line, you know, and he put the white man to chastise us. You know, that's exactly what he did. You know, but you know that's what we're gonna get into tonight. You know, with the just various scriptures here and there. You know, with the spirit. You know, and you know, because I mean, you know, people need to hear this, especially in these days. You know, because they you know, you got people losing their mind. You know, nowadays. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, it could be something little, you know, you always have levels of things, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you could be in your house, you know, like just, man, shit, man, you know, like somebody don't want to come, you know, somebody call, hey man, what's going on? What's going on? You know, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm much like, oh, today's not a good time. Like, why not? He's down and out. She's down and out. You know what I'm saying? Today's not a good time. Like when you read in the scriptures, like you know, strangers will be passing through. You know, and somebody will come out, you know what I'm saying, and be like, hey, you know, how you doing? You know, because they're full of the spirit. You know what I'm saying? They know brotherhood. They understand brotherhood or what have you. You know what I'm saying? When I'm saying strangers, I'm talking about the people of Israel, not no stranger, no heathen. You know what I'm saying? But they come out, you know, and even then, you know, we so upright. You know what I'm saying? That shit. We know how to, we class. You know what I'm saying? We know how to treat heathens as well. Heathens just don't know how to treat us because they're crabs in the barrel. You know, but you know, they come along and stuff like that, and you know, hey, you know, they go get a kid, you know, kid of a lamb, you know, lamb and stuff like that. Go get some butter, some honey, some bread. You know what I'm saying? Sit down, wash your feet. You know what I'm saying? They wash your feet for them and stuff like that. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? That was, and because they were upright, they were righteous. You know what I'm saying? They knew, you know, they knew the Most High. You know, they knew the Most High. You know, so they were, you know, when everybody in, you know, what they call it, home. You know, when you go by and you stay there for the night or some lodging. You know what I'm saying? What have you? You know what I'm saying? You had that in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to worry about you can't do that. Don't do that shit today. Because you got too much wicked. Believe me, they got some cameras up in there. They got cameras up in there doing lewd acts. You know what I'm saying? You know, just mischief. That's all they, you know, that's all they do. You know, with the devices. You know what I'm saying? And it's just treacherous, man. But you know, they knew how to treat, you know, people. But like I said, you know, you shouldn't be, you know, we go to a house and somebody can't come out and greet you. You know what I'm saying? No one nigga was coming over. Can't come out and greet you, but you call yourself Christian. You know what I'm saying? Like, goodness gracious. You know what I'm saying? It's because your leaders, your so-called prophets up in these churches, these Catholic churches, you know what I'm saying? The Christian churches, you know what I'm saying? They are false. They're not following the ways of the Most High with the laws, statutes, and commandments. As the book said, they say the laws are done away with. Do they not? You know, they say all those things, you know what I'm saying? The laws are done away, what have you. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, that's why they don't have an upright spirit, you know, because they're still defiling themselves with just food alone. Just food alone, you know? And of course, with all this, because it says in the book of Daniel, now knowledge shall increase. With all this knowledge, with this technology, you know what I'm saying, the internet, what have you, know what I'm saying? It's a two-edged sword, but yet, you know what you could get? You could get this book right here. You could get this book. You could get this knowledge. And you could come on here, especially at ISUBK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, and hear us speak. Hear the prophets of today speak that's walking on this land right now. You know what I'm saying? It's wicked land. And because ain't nobody else going to do it. You know what I'm saying? No one else is going to do this, in the belly of the beast. You know what I'm saying? Cry out loud and spare not in this abominable place in Babylon, aka land of confusion. You know what I'm saying? But they look up these prophets that they look towards, with these Christians. Let's start with Eddie Long, right? You know what I'm saying? Look what Eddie Long did. He defiled them young men. This is what he did. And you know what they did with Eddie Long? They carried him. They carried this man. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the Most High, dealt with him real fast, right? Real fast, real quick. Joel Osteen, he prosperity, he out there, whatever. How much did he hid in his wall? He hid some money. This nigga like the mafia and shit. You know what I'm saying? What pastor do you know have to hide money in his wall, in their wall? You know what I'm saying? Like what they had, the flood out there and stuff like that. Remember, they weren't trying to help nobody. He closed the doors. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy stuff. But then you got TD Jakes. These are these Christians, prominent, pastors. These are big time. You know what I'm saying? It just so happened he steps down when the rumors comes out that he's at Diddy parties. He's the power bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like he just happens to step down. Nigga ain't old like that. He had a stroke. I mean, that was a brilliant exit plan. I had a stroke and I got to step down. It just so happened that you did that when all this Diddy stuff come up. Your name should not be mentioned with Diddy if you're a pastor. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, all these pastors are, foul anyways. You know what I'm saying? But then you have the whining dude. You know what I'm saying? That just embarrassed one of his members because she gave $1,200. $1,200. Knowing she living check to check. You know what I'm saying? Knowing she living check to check. And he over here embarrassed her in front of the whole congregation. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are your pastors. And let's not forget, I think it was down south, the dude that pushed the old lady out because they wanted him to step down. He pushed the old lady. She broke her toe. She was old because she broke her toe. It was like 3 steps and everything like that. But this pastor, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't old as she was. You know what I'm saying? Pushed her down. I don't care if you are older or younger or what have you. You should not put your hands on no woman, especially an old lady. But this is where we're at today. You know what I'm saying? You got our ignorant people out there, our people still talking about they want to find a church. I gotta find a church. Like, nigga, you don't see what's going on in these churches? These churches are dwindling away. And our people are just destroyed for lack of knowledge, like I said. But you know what I'm saying? We got that cat. And then what we just hear about the man with Parkinson's disease, you know what I'm saying, wanted to get baptized in water, and somehow he's unalived. And we know, and that's another thing. That's why they're being led astray by this Christian church. Man, would you rather be baptized with water or with the Holy Spirit, with fire? Because that's what it says in the word in the Ephesians 4 and 5. I believe it is. Hold on, let me get it because I'm over here speaking and stuff like that. Let me get it real quick. Let me see. Yeah, this is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 4. We're gonna start at 4. There is one body and one spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling. Verse 5, one Lord, one faith, one baptism. What did John say? He said, hey, the one come after me, he gonna baptize you with the fire, with the Holy Spirit, with fire. Why these Ricky Dinks out here still baptizing you with water? How many people you know what I'm saying, that 'cause I know some. I ain't gonna put their name out there. I ain't gonna, who they are, or whatever, they title, whatever, but been baptized when they was a baby. Did more shit than a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the point? Like, I thought baptism was it. That was, that cleansed your spirit. You supposed to be you know what I'm saying? Like, one with the Most High, right? Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Think about that, Christians. I'm a Christian slayer, man. I hate Christians. And it says you can hate. There's a season and a time for everything in the Bible. So, because I had one that hindered me twice. You know what I'm saying? I could have been in this truth a long time ago, man. But it is what it is, But yeah, did I forget anybody else? The last one was the Parkinson dude, you know what I'm saying? The guy, with the baptism, Most High Christ, I got through that one. That was freestyle right there. My brain is working today. It must be the drink. Oh, God, Christians don't want it. You can't drink. That's a sin. like mother suckers. Nigga, use a sin, nigga. But yeah, so we're gonna get in these scriptures right quick. Starting in Isaiah 45. The book of Isaiah, chapter 45. Hey, Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah to priest and officer Kasar Kai. You know what I'm saying? Shalom Adawan. Hey, yeah, Slakia. I did not call in. I was gonna call in, check in, you know what I'm saying, with you and Adawan Kwan, Captain Kwan. You know what I'm saying? My bad. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Isaiah 45 and 7. All right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. And see, that's it. The Most High does everything. Like I said, he directs all traffic. He directs all traffic, right? And the thing is, the book, this book is made up of metaphors, you know what I'm saying? It's figurative, literal, what have you. You know what I'm saying? And this darkness right now, a lot of our people choose darkness. And how do we know that? Because they don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. They don't want to hear what's in this book. They do not want to read this book. You say, hey, come on, let's go over these scriptures. No, look, it said there was going to be a famine of the word. That's what the Bible says. And we are in these days. These youngsters today, they don't want to hear this. Why do you think the Christian church is doing it the wrong way? They don't want to hear this. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are waking up, you know what I'm saying? They leaving these Christian churches. They don't want to hear this because you know why? The pastors haven't been reading this thing anyways. They've been lovers of themselves. Bottom line, lovers of themselves. They read one little verse and then the whole service they talk. They just talk. With in Palo Alto with Pastor Paul. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. And the only reason why I found this out, you know what I'm saying? Why I found it out. I found out that when they rehearse, and they have like two services, right? You got 1:11 and then early service and then one whatever. And the reason why, our daughter over there, she performing. You know what I'm saying? So she had to perform at both services. And this nigga said, this ain't Burger King, you can't have it your way at both services. I caught that shit. I said, this nigga, he ain't going with the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really, really, how How hard is it? I mean, it's not even hard for you to say that line 2 times. The same Burger King, you can't have it your way. Hey, maybe you rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Oh boy, passed away and shit. You feel me? But I learned from that. I learned from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, these niggas, they actually, they rehearse their lines, and there's nothing wrong. I rehearse stuff, you know what I'm saying? What have you. But for you to, this ain't Burger King, you can't have your way. You said it in both services. Come on, man. Like that was the kicker right there. That was the line right there. That's what I'm gonna make everybody laugh. And he was a funny dude. You know what I'm saying? That's the one how you church hop, just like people club hop and shit like that. You try to find the pastor that makes you laugh, makes you giggle. It's Sunday morning. You like, man, I don't feel like going anymore. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's boring and shit. You try to find that funny, because nigga ain't saying nothing else. Like, why can't you go into this scripture right here and read the scriptures for what it is? You know what I'm saying? You're really learning, and that Holy Spirit just jumps on you, right? You know what I'm saying? You get into this book, man, and you learn how to change your ways because of this book, because of what that man is reading, what have you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear what the hell they got to say. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear what the scriptures talking about, I mean, as far as, what they got to say, let the Father be true and every man a liar. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Of course, we gonna fill in the blanks and stuff. We're gonna, say this, say that, what have you. You know what I'm saying? But you could tell if you have, especially if you have discernment, a man that's full of himself, a man that's a lover of himself. He just gonna, he's there for the show. He's there to get praise. He's not there for, to praise the Most High, man, to worship the Most High and His words and stuff like that. We've been having this for so long, man, and that's why the Most High raised up, and put that spirit on General Yohanan. You know what I'm saying? To keep this truth going, because he, if it wasn't for General Yohanan to keep the ISUPK going, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, man, we'd be lost, man. We'd be lost, because this shit is crazy. This world is crazy, man. It's scary out there, and this, just learning this truth, man, you know what I'm saying? Knowing who we are, just give me power. I ain't tripping off nothing. If I go today, who cares? I know where I'm going, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully I don't, hopefully I don't get sent back. You know what I'm saying? But if I do, I'm coming back to the truth. You know what I'm saying? Full throttle. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. As a baby, what happened? You know what I'm saying? But just like Tupac said, you know what I'm saying? My fear of death is coming back to this motherfucker reincarnated. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy shit, right? But like I said, did I read that whole thing? Yeah, but we choose. Hold on. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things, and He create that evil. You know what He create that evil for? To whoop the disobedient children's ass. You know what I'm saying? You want to sit there and do evil, evil gonna come and get you. Bottom line, what does it say? You live by the sword, you die by the sword. That's it's plain and simple. Plain and simple. But let's go to Job chapter 12. The Christian church has destroyed us. Catholic Church has destroyed us. What they say, the laws are done away with. Come on, man. And you accept it. And why do you accept it? Because you're wicked. Because you got an evil spirit in you. And you don't want to, because even I came across cats. I know cats, man. They haven't read this Bible, and a lot of people, even if they did read the Bible or whatever, but I've known people personally that haven't read this Bible, but they do know something. They know there's laws in here. Like there's laws in here, and they nah, yeah, I'll just stay away from that. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to listen. They don't want to hear hearken to these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the ones that do read the Bible. You know, they read it, but they skip. You know what I'm saying? Oh, don't eat that shrimp. They yeah, I didn't see that one. You know what I'm saying? Like they know damn well. Oh, don't eat only fish you can eat fish with scales. You know what I'm saying? Still eating tuna fish. I told cat back in Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the G, old cat too. OG, right? You know what I'm saying? This is at my uncle's funeral. And you know, we was chopping it up, woo woo. You know, and he said, "Oh yeah," he brought up, you know, we was talking about eating healthy and stuff like that, right? And he brought up tuna fish. He was like, "Oh yeah, I get the cat." I said, "Hey, you know you can't eat that, right? You know what I'm saying? You can't eat tuna fish." You know, I said, "Hey, all you got to do is get some salmon. You know, salmon because the only thing you can eat, only fish you can eat is fish with scales." And you know, he's looking at me and stuff like that. And I said, you know, it's in the Bible for a reason. And then he smiled. Cause you know, the nigga Christian. Like he smiled, like, yeah, nigga, like it's in the Bible for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And you're not gonna skip a beat, man. With it, the salmon tastes probably even better than tuna. You know, if you make tuna salmon fish, you know, call it tuna fish, you know, salmon fish. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, man. I mean, you know, you will not miss it. But what I say, Job 12 and 16. It's the book of Job, chapter 12, verse 16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. You know, with who's him? The Most High, right? With the Most High is strength and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. And then he gives you the deceiver and the deceived. Our people love to be deceived. Who's that deceiver? The ultimate deceiver is the white man that I stated earlier. You know what I'm saying? That's what the devil means, the deceiver. You know what I'm saying? And we study, I can't be speaking the truth, man. Even though I'm reading this book to my you know, let's say my peoples, you know what I'm saying, in my media circle, what have you. You know what I'm saying? I can't be reading the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like they looking at me like, oh, that's a little nigga. You know what I'm saying? That nigga, you know, he did this, he did that. You know what I'm saying? Woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? Here it is, though. I'm reading read these words right out of this book. They read the same book, but yet I'm speaking gibberish to them. You know what I'm saying? Like the Most High deceived them. And he put the master deceiver to deceive them. You know, they don't want to wake up and listen to these laws, statutes, and commandments. What was it? What greatness? What is it? What did I say? Greatness is often disregarded by those close to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's our family. That's our family. You know what I'm saying? Like when I woke up to this truth, I try to go out there and, you know, go to them. That's the first people you're gonna go to. He'll say, "Hey, you know who we are? We is rah." Nigga, they look at you like you boogie. That's why I start calling myself, I'm the boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? I'm the boogeyman. You feel me? Like, you know, and now, you know, it's like they wonder why you distant yourself from. It's like, nigga, what for? You know what I'm saying? All you do is talk behind niggas' back anyways, behind closed doors. You know, not one person from my family asked me, why do you feel you are a Hebrew Israelite? Not one yet. We're talking about people that saw me being born, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like they too, and that's the evil spirit. Don't ask that nigga. No, because he's gonna tell you this, and then your conscience is gonna hit your conscience. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's why they have ask. That's why niggas, you know, he think he a Hebrew Israelite. All right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why you know, people going through what they going through right now. You know what I'm saying? In these days. You know, you need to wake up. You know what I'm saying? You probably won't be going through what you're going through if you follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. You say you're a Christian, you know what I'm saying? But you want to fill your belly with, you know, abominable things, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we just talking about food. We're talking about food, man. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy stuff, man. You know, but you know, did I read the whole thing? But you strive, you know what I'm saying? You have to strive, you know, to what is it? Hold on, slide. Let me read it again. This is Job chapter 12 and 16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. Everything belongs to the Most High, you know what I'm saying? But to get that wisdom, to get that strength, you got to strive to get that strength, to get that wisdom. And how do you do that? You follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. And it's not grievous. That's what it says in the scriptures. These laws are not grievous. You know what I'm saying? Like you got cats out there, one just want to be whoremongers. I'm just gonna put that out there. You know what I'm saying? You got the ones that want to be whoremongers. Like nigga, like you can have more than one rib in here. Bottom line. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta, and you turning them into whores by laying with them and throwing them away, humbling them and throwing them away. You know what I'm saying? And they say, oh, you can't have more than one rib, but yet whoremongering is okay for them. Oh, I'm just seeing her for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm gonna throw away and then go get this one right here. That sounds correct to them. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Hold on. Let's go to Proverbs real quick. 14:12, I think it is. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 12. It says, there is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Nigga, you in there gonna end up catching a disease, nigga. You know what I'm saying? She over there, I'm just gonna throw her away. That shit gonna catch up to you, man. All these diseases out here now, you know what I'm saying? Crazy, man. Like they made it cool for you to live with HIV now. You know what I'm saying? And they got, and it's always the gay slogan. The alternative lifestyle. The alternative lifestyle, commercials and shit like that. It's all our people because we're like the poster people of alternative lifestyle for some reason. You know what I'm saying? But they make it cool for fools to be dating and to have HIV and shit. It's like, nigga. Like crazy. That's a spirit, man. That is a spirit. It's crazy, man. This world is a trip. This world is a trip. But but strength, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to strengthen that spirit, man. You got to strengthen that spirit, because it says, with him is strength and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? That's what that wisdom is going to do. What? Strengthen that spirit. It's going to strengthen that spirit. Bottom line. That's what we got to do as a people, man. Israel, saying so-called Black, Latino, Native American man, woman, and child. You got to strengthen your spirit, man. And I know it's hard out here because, we got so many distractions now, look at these kids now, man. They got phones, and their parents are not monitoring them kids, on their phones. Because why? They're on their phones too. They're on I don't know. I'm about to make Lonely Club. I don't know the fuck. All the things that they got. Lonely others. Lonely. You know what I'm saying? I'm hot and not. Boy, I don't know. I'm just making up shit because I don't know. I don't know them off the bat. You know what I'm saying? Tinder. Okay, Tinder. I got one. You know what I'm saying? These little things. You know what I'm saying? They over here on that. Why? Little dude over here or the little girl. You know what I'm saying? Watching what? Porn. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that easy. It's that easy because this is how wicked this place is. Because Satan has a short, he has a short period of time. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to defile everybody. Why you think it's so easy to make money now on YouTube? Everybody trying to go big and shit. Trying to, it's a distraction. It's a distraction from what? From this word, bottom line. But I mean, these little kids, that's why you had those kids, man. I think it was in Ohio, man. They little dudes, man, 10 and 9. Well, shit, actually, it was a little girl and a little boy. 9 and 10. I think they defiled a little 5-year-old, remember, and they pulled her braids out and shit like that. What have you? Yeah, I think it was in Ohio, man. I mean, it's just getting wicked because the spirits are just coming out there because you don't have the armor of the Most High. So if you don't have armor, because remember, we're in spiritual warfare. If you don't have armor, your spirit is about to be defiled, man. You are susceptible to evil spirits. Bottom line, because you're not covered with the Holy Spirit, with the Most High's armor. Bottom line, you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy how, I mean, these times are crazy, man. I don't know. I just don't know. Isaiah, let's go to Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 29. But I mean, this is where these Christians out here, man. I can't stand a Christian. What did I say? 29 and what? 29 and 10. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 10. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered. That's the Christian spirit. That's the congregation. Anybody that's still going to the church on Sunday, you know what I'm saying? And then you could find out, if and the majority of people in the Christian church now, especially nowadays, they should know that the Most High's day is the Sabbath, which is the 7th day of the week. You know what I'm saying? It's not Sunday, not the first day of the week. It's the 7th day of the week because that's when he rested. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they all read the book of Genesis. You know what I'm saying? But who do they listen to? They listen to man. That's who they listen to. You know what I'm saying? The prophets and the seers, the Most High covered their eyes, covered them. And that's why they're in a deep sleep. You know what I'm saying? These people, these pastors, they say the laws are done away with, just like I mentioned earlier. They say the laws are done away with. And if you gonna listen to these men, guess what? You're gonna be asleep. Your spirit's gonna be asleep. And then you're gonna go through these spiritual atrocities. Let's go ahead and start with the spiritual atrocities, not the physical, because you got people in their house, like I said, waking up, why am I going through this? Why am I going through that? Why the Most High doing this? Why God doing that to me? Why am I going, you know what I'm saying? It's because you ain't listening. You're not following these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's why. You really think he gonna listen to you when you're not listening to him? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's common sense. But you want to listen to man. And that's why we gonna drop down to 13. You know what I'm saying? This is the book of Isaiah 29:13. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth. Don't we like that? We like to sing. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Judah now. You know what I'm saying? I can't really, I mean, Iskar be up in there, you know what I'm saying, what have you, but Judah be going at it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Iskar, they mostly, the Catholic, all the Latinos, Latinas, and stuff like that be in the Catholic stuff. Did I say Iskar? I say Iskar, right? Iskar, my bad. Iskar. They be in the Catholic. The Catholic shit is boring as shit. I don't even know how they make it through that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're doing in there. That's a heavy spell they got on them. Because how can you stay in that Catholic church, man? It's a trip. Doing all this shit all day. All day,
It's a lot of getting up and down.
Yeah, well, I don't know that. I only been in there one time. So I don't know how they do it. But as far as, like I said, they praise with their mouth, with their lips. You know what I'm saying? That's Judah. Oh, they love singing and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And this is what they do, and with their lips do honor me. You know, they say, oh God, oh all this and all that. He can do everything. He can do you know what I'm saying? That's what they do all damn day. They have these sayings, you know, like like the one you throw me off of. Oh, you know, may he rest in peace. He in heaven now. Like, is he resting in peace or is he in heaven? Which one is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they got so many sayings, you know what I'm saying? They lips. And they, you know, you can't find none of that shit in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? But they all kinds of stuff, man. I can't let me see what else they say. I don't know, maybe I don't know if that's in the Bible or not. I'm not gonna mention it. Like I gotta do some research. But yeah, so but have removed, but it says, let me start from the beginning. Verse 13. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as his people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precepts of men. As well as the second. This is who they listen to. Men. They don't listen to these words. Like I said, the scripture says, let the Father be true and every man a liar. Let God be true and every man a liar. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to go in this book and read these scriptures and expound on them. Instead of over there just talking. It ain't Burger King, you can't have it your way. This ain't Burger King, you can't have it your way. Look, that was the biggest punchline. That was dope, man. I don't want to hear that stupid shit. You know, like I want to hear these scriptures, man. That's what I want to hear. But and because, you know what I'm saying, we listen to men all the time, you know what I'm saying? We listen to men all the time. Like whatever the generals say, you know, General Mahyman, General Johanna, all the generals, whatever, you know what I'm saying? They speak out of this book. This is what they do. They speak out of this book, man. This is where they get their knowledge from. This book. They ain't just talking, they're making shit up. Everything that they know is from this book, and they expound on it. And that's what you're supposed to do. This book right here, the Bible. You got people literally, you know, reading this stuff, you know, and they just reading it. They don't know what the hell they're reading. They just reading it. You know, just thinking, you looking down at me. No, you ain't, nigga. Like, I mean, he knew you was gonna do this before he made you. like dumbass. Like, come on, man. Like, you guys gotta wake up out there, Christians, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, crazy. Let's go to Judges 23 and 9. It's lucky. 9 and 23. Damn, dyslexia shit right. And just imagine all the Christians, you know, just hear me say shit. They go all crazy. Oh, damn it. Yeah, it's music for your ears, right? But yeah, you know, they go worship Eddie Long. Men like Eddie Long. He won't say shit. You know what I'm saying? But he'll defile a young man, a young kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's crazy. What I say? This is the book of Judges, chapter 9, verse 23. Then God sent, and this is you know, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm making a point. The Most High, because we're talking about spirits, right? The Most High he sends you spirits. He sends spirits. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of Christian people don't know this, you know, because they don't know the Bible. They don't know the Bible. Remember, because all they say, God is all love. God is love. God is this. God is this. You know, woo. Listen to this right. This is the book of Judges, chapter 9, verse 23. the God sent an evil spirit between Abimelech and the men of Shechem. And the men of Shechem dealt treacherously with Abimelech. The Most High did that. He put a spirit in between these men, and they were funking. They were straight funking. You know, so all you gangsters out there and stuff like that, unaliving yourselves for nothing over a street name, and the majority of the names, all of the names are after white men, and they funking off a turf. Oh, this is my street right here after a white man. You talking about destroy, straight destroy. You know what I'm saying? And it's because they hate themselves, so they go on alive somebody that look just like them. But the Most High put that spirit on them, on this man. And it's funny because well, it's not funny. I mean, well, it is funny. I mean, this Abimelech, right? Abimelech. This dude, you know how the way he died? So he funky, he doing his thing, right? He well the reason why and how he died. So he went through a door or something like that, and a woman dropped a stone on his head. Right? Says so this nigga, so he was like, he dazed and shit. So he tells his one of his little servants and shit. He was like, hey nigga, kill me nigga with the sword. So it won't go down as I got killed by a woman. You can read that in here. At the end of this chapter. Like crazy stuff, man. But like I said, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And every dog got their day. You know what I'm saying? That was his day. You know what I'm saying? And that Most High put that spirit on you. Stop doing dumb stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? So-called Black, Latino, Native American. Stop doing dumb stuff out there, man. You women and you men. Out there, you got women out there drugging niggas now. Like just crazy stuff, man. Drugging them, robbing them, doing, shit. Raping them. Like you got all kinds of craziness out there. Huh? And people still trying to run to the Christian church. I gotta find me a church. Like, nigga, you gonna wake up, nigga. Like, and you're like, where? How did I get in this bed? Like, oh, the pastor, he put you up in there. Like crazy stuff, man. I mean, it's wild. It's wild out there, man. There's so much stuff we don't know about. Because I don't get out there like that, man. Like with these streets, man. Like, so much, and not even the streets, but like I said, with all these what you call them, what I was saying, Tinder, all these things like that, man. I know there's some wild. What was that one that just like the one that somebody left your job and Grinder, Grinder, and that's an alternative lifestyle business. Like Grinder, like just think about that. Grinder, like some niggas grinding on each other, men, like you feel me? Like crazy Grinder. Yeah, I mean, man, it's a trip, man. It's a trip. Anyway, so I'll finish that one. Yeah, so let's go to 1 Kings 22. 1 Kings chapter 22. Because like I said, we talking about the spirit, and the Most High directs all traffic, right? I just want to, just bring things out right here, just point things out because, like I said earlier, people get upset when you say, hey, man, that was an evil spirit. Nobody wants to hear that. Hey, man, that was a wicked spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta acknowledge that stuff, man. And when you acknowledge it, it's because you upright, you righteous. Like, damn, that spirit came over me like that. I was being evil right there, man. That was a wicked ass spirit. You know what I'm saying? I need to change. I need to work on this. I need to fast. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you deal with it, right? You fast. Afflict your flesh. You know what I'm saying? Read this word. Follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. Do better. Just don't speak it like it said in Isaiah 29:13, you know what I'm saying? You know, they speak about me with their mouth and with their lips, and honor me with their heart, but their heart is far from me. You know what I'm saying? And with the they fear me with the precepts of man. I'm paraphrasing, you know, and this is what we do, you know, as a people, man, because we don't want to change our ways. We don't want to change our wicked ways, you know. But this is the book of Kings, chapter 22, verse 23. Now, therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these prophets. You know, I mean, the Most High puts a lying spirit on you too. You got a jealousy spirit, you got a glutton spirit. You know what I'm saying? We know we got an unalivened spirit because that's you know, that's just evil out there in the streets, man. Just unaliving each other. You know, and I'm talking about our people unaliving each other for nothing. Well, because they destroy for a lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know that, you know. But you know, like I said, we gotta wake up out of here, man, out of this madness. And, you know, we're not gonna learn from this Christian church. We're not gonna learn from this Catholic church. You know, these false pastors, you know, these false priests, you know, the Pope. You know, Pope means father in Spanish or Greek, one of them. That's why I call that nigga madre. You know what I'm saying? That's the mother Pope. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy. You know, but I mean, you know, all this knowledge, you know, like I said, the book of Daniel said, knowledge shall increase. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of the word, knowledge of the truth. You know, what's the truth? That the so-called Black, Latino, Native American man, woman, and child are God's chosen people. And we got to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. And the laws are not done away with. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And we got to keep following this truth. And we're going to be out there on these streets, man, crying out loud, sparing not. You know, and you know, even though I out there, I'm still and get my shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh well. Like shit, you know. But let's go to First Psalms. No, it's like First Samuel. First Samuel 2:7. First Samuel 2:7. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. You know what I'm saying? What does he bring low? He could bring your spirit low. Why? Because you're not following these laws, statutes, commandments. He can lift your spirit up if you're following these laws, statutes, commandments. It's that simple. It's that simple. But you want to, why am I going through this? Why is this happening? Why is God doing this? God ain't doing nothing to you. You doing it because you don't want to follow his laws, statutes, and commandments. Bottom line. You know what I'm saying? You just want to disregard his words, these scriptures, and you sitting there reading this scripture, you know, and I'm talking to these Christians, these fake Christians, man. Like I say, we have a zeal for the for God, but not we got a zeal for the Most High, but not according to knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Our grandma, or grandpas, or great grandpa, great grandma, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They had a zeal, but not according to knowledge. So they taught you wrong. And you still out here worshiping the Christian church on Sunday, thinking that's God's holy day. Nah, that's Satan's day. You know what I'm saying? That is the deceiver's day. That's all it is. You got to wake up. Get into these scriptures right here, man, with the ISUPK. Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You know? I'll finish all that. But yeah, you know, I mean, let's read that again. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bring it low and lift it up. Now, do you want the Lord to put you low at a low state? Because that's what we are as a people, man. We are base as a people, the so-called Black, Latino, Native American, and all these heathens out here, they above, man. They're above. You know what I'm saying? Above us, above royalty. God's chosen people, because you chose to be base. You don't want to follow these laws, statutes, commandments. You know, it's so simple, man. He'll lift you up once you open up those eyes, man. But you want to stay asleep. Bottom line, you know. But your household, like I said, you know what I say earlier, you know how people gonna be, you know, they, you know, you call them up, hey man, come on, oh, not today, man. It's not a good day. Nigga, what's going on with you, nigga? I would never say some shit like that. Even on my, you know what I'm going, if I'm going through my whatever. Oh, you want to come? Oh, come on in. Come on in, man. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? You probably never know what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? I'll still be a good ass host, you know, because that's me, that's my spirit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, you know, I can't, you know, no, you know, because you know why? Because your house is cursed. Your house is cursed, man. You got, you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. So he's gonna curse your house as well. That's why you inside your house and you feeling down and out. You know what I'm saying? Because your house is cursed, man. You know, that's how it is. And we're gonna get to that right there. You know, Proverbs 3. Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 3. Book of Proverbs, chapter 3. 3 and 33. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 33. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just. You know, there you go, right there. It's so simple. Everything is in this book. You know what I'm saying? The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked. You in there doing wickedness. Let's say, you know, wicked is you know, in let's just say Christmas tree. Because though it seemeth right to the, you know, to man, but it's the end of the day. You know, what have you? You know, I'm paraphrasing, like I said, 14:12, right? Proverbs 14:12. You bringing in the Christmas tree. You don't even know why you bringing a Christmas tree inside your house. But you can read about it in Jeremiah 10. We get it from the heathens, man, because they worship trees back in the days. You know what I'm saying? They called it tree worship. And they got your silly butts doing it. You know, because, you know, they get you when you're young too, you know, because it got that dopamine, you know, that makes you happy inside your head and stuff like that. Everything you remember all the good stuff when you were a kid and stuff like that. Of course, you're going to remember Christmas. You're going to remember Easter. You're going to remember Halloween. You're going to remember all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want your kids to experience what you experienced and stuff like that. When really you want to do the same shit too, still as a grown up. You know what I'm saying? Because that was your happy place. You know, because why? You know, throughout the year, you know, you never came together except for these pagan holidays. You know what I'm saying? Even birthdays. That's the only time when you came together, especially in a so-called Black, Latino, Native American man, woman, and child household. Because we just going through, we living check to check, we going at it. The majority of the time, the daddy's not in the household. You're going through it. So somehow we scrape up, money and stuff like that to buy presents out for Christmas and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Or Thanksgiving. No one wanted some, just that's the only time we could come together and no, it's not. That's the only time you can actually put aside your differences. And even then, you still side-eyeing one another. You know what I'm saying? Talking shit. But you there because grandma wanted you there. You know, what have, that's the only reason why you there. You know, Can't come together any other time, man. Sad. You know what I'm saying? But what else? You got you got people that got what is it? An urn with the urn with the ashes. You got somebody's ashes, man. Bury those ashes, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we come from the dirt, right? We gonna go back to that dirt. You know what I'm saying? Like bury, because all you're doing every time you're looking at it, you know what you're doing? It's reminding you of death, and it's keeping you down spiritually. You know what I'm saying? So you got all kinds of stuff in your house, man. What other stuff? I mean, you got people, they, on somebody's birthday, they moms or pops or whatever like that. On their birthday, they light the candle. Doing some silly stuff like that. They gone. We're gonna read that too. They gone. Why don't you put all that energy towards acknowledging Christ's death? You know what I'm saying? That he died for your sins. Do that. Acknowledge that. You know what I'm saying? And how do you do that? You know what I'm saying? What the Christ said, not one jot or one tittle in no wise shall pass from the law. None of these laws shall pass. Do what Christ says. Be brotherly, be sisterly. You know what I'm saying? Don't you can't come in my house. Or I'm not getting up to go see whatever like that. Like I said, you got people, back in the day, they get a kid lamb, a goat, whatever, fix that thing up, get some butter, some milk, some honey, you know what I'm saying? And be like, come on, good host, because they had a good spirit. But you go in somebody's house, especially a Christian, you know what I'm saying? I've been, with Mike, you know what I'm saying? With Mike Dillard, right? He took me over there to Pastor, I'm not gonna say his name, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But I did, I ain't even gonna say that either. like, his son got dealt with on that field. Like, you know what I'm saying? But went in there, went up in there, man, and unpleasant. His first wife, just terrible, man. And these are Christians. I'm telling you, and that nigga was on something. He was on some good muscle, a double dose of muscle relaxers. Something that nigga was out. He looked like a zombie. Like, I'm like, damn, this nigga high. like, you know what I'm saying? He like, I don't know what it was, man. But these some Christians, right? You know what I'm saying? And it was just terrible. Just terrible. Where's that upright spirit, man? Where's that upright spirit? They don't have it in that Christian church, man. I remember going when we was at San Jose High, man, going up in that bathroom. They over there and congregating and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got, you got to go to the bathrooms and stuff. I went into the wrong bathroom, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I mean, why would you have to? And it was like, what was that movie with Tom Cruise, man? Eyes Wide Shut. They got the mask on and stuff. That's all they was missing was the cape and the mask. And, you know what I'm saying? They was like, what are you guys doing? Some secret society type shit, man. You know what I'm saying? They looked at me like, I'm thinking like, and I look at the lot. I'm like, nigga, they looking at me like I messed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, there's a I just, but I'm in church mode, Christian, whatever. I was want to whoop everybody else up in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, just lock the lot if you don't want nobody to come in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are Christians. They're in a circle. I don't know what they were doing in the bathroom. They could have did this outside. Like, why do you have to go inside a bathroom, man? And this is the men's bathroom. You got women in there, men in there, and stuff like that in a circle. This is crazy. Just Christianity, man, Christian church, it's always been weird to me. Always. And the only reason why I did it because, grandparents, grandmas and stuff like that. That's the only reason why. And I'm thinking that's what we're supposed to do because we were taught that. You know what I'm saying? But it was always came across somebody weird in the Christian church. It was always grown folks too. You know what I'm saying? Like when you were young, you'd be like, this thing weird, man. this person's weird. All weirdos, man. Always. Like there shouldn't be no weirdness in the Christian church, right? You know what I'm saying? But it's because it's false and their leaders are false. You know what I'm saying? They're false prophets, and that's why you got a bunch of freaking and remember when they used to say "come as you are," that's what they meant too. Hey, come, you know, being an alternative lifestyle. They don't even want you to change because they just want your money. You know what I'm saying? And the pastor, male, he probably want that alternative lifestyle, male. You know what I'm saying? What have you? You know, that's what they do, man. And it's been like that. They always showed us that on TV, on movies. You know, the pastor's daughter was always that. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy ass work, right? You know what I'm saying? But did I read this whole thing? Let's jump down to 35. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 35. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the Christian church, man. They want to remain being fools. You know, it says in let me see, Proverbs 14:7. So Proverbs 14:7 right quick. It says in Proverbs 14:7, go from the presence of a foolish man when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. You know, bottom line, man. And you got so much foolishness out here nowadays, man. You know, on phones. You know, we just saw one today. We just saw a fool today. T.I. and his son. You know what I'm saying? On that, you know, these are fools. They're fools. There are fools. We see this stuff all damn day. Straight fools, man. There's nothing but foolishness out here. You know, it's something else, man. Let's go ahead and let's get it. We'll be here all night, right? What was it? Let's go to Ecclesiastes 9. Ecclesiastes 9 and 5, verse 5. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 5. You know, and this is, you know, right here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, they got, you go in somebody's house and they over here acknowledging their dead mother, dead father. You know what I'm saying? By lighting, you know, on their birth, on their day of birth and shit like that. What have you? You know what I'm saying? You got people who like this. They're doing this stuff, and they're Christians. You know what I'm saying? You got, you know, letting balloons up in the air, looking up in the air. Hey, grandma. Like, you fuck retards, man. Yeah, that's retardant, the fire retardant. That's what I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, goodness, man, because you know this is foolish shit, man. This is foolish. Anyways, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 5. For the living know that they shall die, right? But the dead know not anything. So they don't know that you're over there, down here, letting balloons up. They don't know that. The Bible just said that. If you don't believe in that, stop reading the Bible. Start reading it. Because it says that right here. But they gonna, you know, just turn that page. I'm gonna read what I like. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna read what I like. Anyway. So but the dead know not nothing, neither have they any more a reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. And it's not, you know, and then you got simpletons out there, the memory of them is forgotten. They say, no, that's why I remember. That's what they forgotten. I still know. It's not talking about you, dummy. Like, and that's how dumb we are. You know what I'm saying? We don't understand context. You know, just all you got to do is read the next verse, right? Verse 6, also their love and their hatred and their envy is now perished. Neither have they any more a portion for it ever in anything that is done under the sun. So, like I said, acknowledge Christ, man, dying for your sins. Instead of every year you sitting there, hey, grandma, hey, going to a grave. Nigga, ain't nothing there but a headstone. They're gone. Put all that energy into this word, man, into Christ. For dying for your, he shouldn't even have, he shouldn't, we're not worthy. We weren't worthy for to be, man, these people are wicked, man. We are wicked, a wicked people, man. You know what I'm saying? I put myself in there too. Because, you know, I was a fool once, you know, doing dumb shit out there, you know, doing dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? But I woke up, you know, get up out of this madness, Babylon the Great, you know what I'm saying? This belly of the beast, you know. Shit, man. You know, you trying to wake your family up, man, trying to wake people up, man, close to you, whatever. They gonna remain asleep. They gonna remain asleep, man. They gonna talk about you behind your back as if I care. Like, nigga, I'm a solo nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't need nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? Nigga, we about to World War III is kicking off. And then, you know, when it really pops off, you know what they're gonna be doing? God help me. Nigga, why? Nigga, you couldn't put down shrimp. like for real. You couldn't put down shrimp. Crazy, man. Let's go ahead and get some more right. What's that? Ecclesiastes. You know, let's go to Proverbs, you know, because this is what they do. You know, Proverbs 28. This is what they do, man. They sit there and pray. Like where's that on was it How High with Dave Chappelle? No. Half Baked. That was Half Baked. Like, God, if you're listening, remember he had to go across the brace, and if you're listening, you're stupid. That shit was funny. It says, this is Proverbs chapter 28, verse 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. Next, I ain't even got to expound on that. Like, for real. Let's go to Proverbs 4. Proverbs 4. This is a book of Proverbs 4, chapter Proverbs chapter 4, verse 5. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not a decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. How do you get understanding? The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. I mean, I can't. Shit. I mean, if you don't want that wisdom, you want to stay a fool. You want to stay asleep. Go ahead. You know. Hey, then I have what somebody had said that they don't like my teaching. I still remember that shit. You know, if he watching again, you know, obviously I'm doing something right. I stirred your spirit up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you this is the wrong one. I was watching you ever see Brooklyn's Finest? Oh yeah, there's one you got the wrong one, son. like this dude, it's a crazy scene, man. This nigga was tied up talking about you got the wrong one, son. like this is funny shit. But anyways, you know, like for real, like if you know, like if I know somebody over there ain't, you know, I'm speaking to that individuals talking about my teaching's bad, right? Why even respond? I don't respond to dumb shit. Like, I don't listen to dumb shit. So that's how you know your spirit was stirred up. Lesson, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to like, letting people in my brain. I'm smart. I know stuff. Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not a decline from the words of my mouth. Don't decline from the Most High's mouth, man. Like if a 4-year-old was speaking that truth, man, was speaking that word, I know it's the Most High's mouth. I ain't gonna sit there and say, oh man, that's a little 4-year-old, man. He don't know nothing. I'm older than him. King David said, I know more than the ancients because I keep thy precepts. You know what I'm saying? So listen to the Most High's word, man. What did it say? Christ said, my sheep knoweth my voice. Bottom line. But we got them Christians out there, I've been in this before you. Like, nigga, anyways, like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Well, tell me something deep, nigga. What's deep? This Bible right here. Bottom line. Let's see what we got here. Let's go to Ephesians. Ephesians. Because I mentioned this earlier with the armor, right? The whole armor of God, the Most High, Yahweh. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, starting at verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Verse 11, put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Because the devil out here working. White men out here working, man. Look, people don't look at it. They call this the internet. You enter and you fall into a net. Internet. Like, just think about that. You know what I'm saying? And you got a bunch of shit that you can get on here and get lost, get caught up in the net, in the web. And they call it the web, the website. Yeah, wow. Verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. I heard my pastor had told me there's California is the biggest place where it has witches and warlocks. They got the Bohemian Grove and stuff like that. People from the government, remember Alex Jones supposedly snuck in. Nigga, you sneak in. Nigga, you had an invitation and shit. Like crazy ass shit, right? You know what I'm saying? But they got the groves. It's a Bohemian Groves and stuff. They sacrifice stuff. All kinds of madness, right? But listen. Verse 13, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand the evil day, and having done all to stand. Verse 14, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth. With what? With truth. And having on the breastplate of righteousness. It's so hard today, for our people to be righteous. They try to get over on each other, try to what is it called? One up on each other, you know what I'm saying? Get that next blunt, smoke that next weed, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, just to do that. Try to be all cool and high, crazy, man. Crazy. All right, there's one cat, man, before we left San Ho, right? I'm over at Charlie's house. This nigga, we sitting on the stairs, right? It's a couple of us, we, doing stupid shit. I don't know where this cat was from. He wasn't originally from San Jose. Still, I caught this nigga, like he was staring at me, at my back. He was staring at my back, man, like, just crazy shit. I felt it, I'll be feeling shit like that. I'll just look like this nigga, weird ass nigga, you know what I'm saying? But you got them, got them cats out there. Man, 2 weeks later, well, shit, I don't even have to say his name because that nigga dead too. Now he dead. But that nigga beat the dog shit out of him. They didn't know where he was for the longest time because he lived upstairs. Man, they found him in a pool of blood, man. Yeah, he wasn't unalive and all like that, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? But the cat that did it, you know what I'm saying? That nigga gone. Yeah. But it's like me, like you want to live that spirit. You want to have that spirit. I just read it. I just read the spirit. You know what I'm saying? The Most High put these spirits on you, and you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You want to sit there and be like all hardcore and stare at somebody's back. You know what I'm saying? That's a wicked spirit, man, just staring at somebody's back and shit. It's staring at, like that's the wicked, you got a wicked spirit on you. So what happened? Another wicked spirit came and did that nigga in like that. Yeah, they found him, and oh boy, he got locked up. He got caught up. He got caught for that. You know what I'm saying? He got locked up. But yeah, then that nigga got out, and that nigga, that's how that live by the sword, you die by the sword. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy stuff, man. Verse 15, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Verse 16, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? Verse 17, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Self-explanatory. The last one, Romans. Let's go to Romans real quick. Romans 1. It's Romans 1. Yeah. This is the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affection. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Are we not? We read the Bible, right? Now, for those watching, if this is your first time, are we not living in these days right now? Because I'm going to keep reading. This is how you know this Bible. And this Bible was translated into the English in 1611. We were barely getting rounded up coming over here, you know what I'm saying, into slavery. And shit was probably here before that. I don't know. Slave, history, right? I don't know. They be lying so much and shit. But verse 27, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of the error which was meet. Verse 28, and even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. Verse 29, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, which is mischief. Okay. Whisperers. We got a lot of whisperers. Whisper behind your back. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Woo. Terrible. Verse 30, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things. disobedient to parents. Verse 31, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. Implacable is not being able, just a wild, somebody wild, can't be calmed down, can't be pacified, just wild, what have you, verse 32, who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death. Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do it. It's like, do them. You know what I'm saying? Are we not living in these times today? I just read that right there out the Bible. Right out the Bible, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know this world, this Bible right here, this book right here is life, man. If you want to live, read this book. Come into the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, ISUPK. With that, I want to say, Yahweh Shem Yahshua thumb to the brothers, Yahweh Shema Allah thumb by Shem Yahshua to the sisters. Shalom, Israel.